So the child has pain at 3 years. So how do you expect the child to be facing the pain? How the child will bear the pain and keep up to that for that many years? Number one. Number two, the toothache is going to affect the child's nourishment. It is going to affect the child's smile. It's going to affect the child's self-esteem. Are we going to compromise all those things simply thinking that these teeth will fall off?
Ready to take your academic journey to the next level? Well, Tooth Talk is back again with a brand new series which is there for exclusively for our postgraduate community. After choosing the right branch, how do you deal with the highs and lows of the postgraduate life? Don't worry, we have got your back. Hi everyone, I am Dr. Ichita Joshi and today I am putting my dental mirror aside and taking a break from fabricating dentures to bring out to you an exclusive conversation about a branch that impacts the health and happiness of the young ones. Yes, it is the branch of pediatric dentistry. And for bringing out this for us, I would like to thank Cuspyd, which is an edutech company which is helping dental professionals to learn and grow and achieve in their career. So joining me in this insightful conversation is our esteemed guest, Dr. Srinivas Namineni, sir. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ichita.
So sir is definitely an expert in the field and he has a lot of experience, and we're really looking forward to hear a lot of insights and your take on the field of pediatric dentistry. So I'll be telling you a bit about sir. Sir has completed his MDS from Bapuji Dental College and Hospital in Debunking in 1994. And sir is also one of the first members of International Association of Pediatric Dentistry from India. And sir is also the past president of Indian Society of Pediatric and Preventive Dentistry. And sir is also the founder president of Federation of Special Care Dentistry, and which is there to sensitize the dentist towards how they deal with special children and children with any medically compromised conditions. So sir, you are also a pioneer in nitrous oxide sedation procedures. So sir is also trained a lot of dentists for the same thing. So sir is currently the Chief of Pediatric Dental Services at the prestigious Rainbow Children's Hospital. So sir, we are really honored to have you on this show, and we're really looking forward to have some great insights from you.
I'm equally excited.
So sir, to begin with that, can you tell us a bit about your journey in pediatric dentistry? How is it going for you so far?
Ichita, it's exciting to be here. I always used to like children. I wanted to be a teacher to start with because I like children. Getting into dentistry was not my wholehearted choice, but I got into dentistry. I was a little upset that I'll be missing my children. So at some point of time during my first few months after I joined dentistry, I realized that there's a branch called pediatric dentistry. I decided that's my place.
Okay.
That's my place.
You were destined to be here.
Yes. Right in my first year, I decided to be a pediatric dentist.
Okay, sir.
Now I am with children.
That's amazing.
That's how my journey started with the pediatric dentistry.
Okay, sir.
So to be a pediatric dentist, you should have that, love to children.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Then it will make your life very, very happy.
Yes, sir. So, sir, can you tell us more about your experience with kids? How has it been so far?
Being with children and being trusted by your children is a great thing. Imagine a child opens his mouth or her mouth to let somebody into their mouth and probably do some treatment. If need arises, we may even give a shot in the mouth or probably pull out a tooth. With all those tools going into their mouth, just imagine the trust they put on you. Yes. And gaining that trust is a trick in pediatric dentistry. And once the child trusts you, and you are the master there. It's so thrilling, it's so rewarding to be trusted by a child. And once the trust is gained, the rest of the treatment is going to be like a cakewalk.
Okay, sir.
Being trusted by a child is the biggest thing in pediatric dentistry.
So getting the trust of the child, it definitely plays a key role in being a pediatric dentistry, and that's what makes you people so special. So coming to my next question, what is the scope of this branch in terms of age?
Yeah, pediatric dentistry starts with birth. And many people think that pediatric dentist is only for children, but pediatric dental services or pediatric sciences covers the child from zero till adolescence. That's about 18 years. The rationale is that at every point of time during the child's life, every year the child is going to be different. There is just not going to be bigger hands or bigger face or bigger legs. Physiologically, the child is different.
Yes, sir.
Emotionally, the child is different. And there is a change every time the child grows. And once the child finishes the growth, that usually happens at 18, so that's where the scope of pediatric dentistry ends. Whereas in adults, the changes which happens after 18 is only the disease. Yes. It is the disease which changes the person. But here, the physiology of the child changes the child from one particular time to another particular time. So that's the rationale between the age between 0 and 18. So pediatrics as such cover between 0 and 18.
Wow, sir. So pediatric dentists basically grow with the child and, see everything in terms of growth and development. And I guess that's the beauty of it. Sir, so jumping to my next question. For a pediatric dentistry, what is the scope of this branch?
That's an interesting question. Just imagine our parents. They have sacrificed so much to raise us. Yes. They sacrificed so much of their life to raise us. Imagine if my child has a toothache. Imagine if my child has fever. I go to any extent to sacrifice anything in my part of life, but I still give the relief and the comfort to my child. Yes. So, keeping that in mind, looking at it as a business, you have a lot of scope. Yeah. The point is that the whole family sacrifices so many things to see the well-being of the child. That could be a dental disease, that could be a medical condition. Every family has about 1 or 2 children. So these children are primary focus for the parent, whether it's he, mother or father. The whole focus, whatever you make money in terms of earnings, the focus is on the child. So keeping that focus in mind, I don't want my child to have any disease, number one. First of all, I want my child to have the best part of the life. I want them to have the best health. I want them to have the best teeth. I want them to have the best laugh. So I do anything to get the best part of my child. So keeping that in mind, we have a lot of scope. Now, with all the nuclear families, and we have more focus on children, and people are educated, they travel, they know what is disease, they don't know what the dental disease is. Earlier, the priority was not on the small dental health. It used to be medical health. Now people know that there is equal importance to the dental health. So there's so much of importance to dental health. So that's where you have a lot of scope.
Yes, sir. So you gave us a really nice overall perspective about what the scope of pediatric dentistry is all about. And your passion and love for children is projecting so nicely through your answers. And, and that is so inspiring for me also. So coming to another area, which is, I am sure, very close to your heart, that is coming to special children. So what advice would you like to give to caregivers or parents of special children? And what is your approach towards special children who end up being your patients?
Shita, special children is a very broad term. Very broad term in the sense there's so many conditions you can name them, which are all under umbrella of a special needs. It is not the disease per se. When we handle a child or an adult with a special needs, they're already burdened with the disease. This burden of the disease is beyond the tooth. It's affecting the whole family. So added to that, there is an additional burden of a dental disease. Okay. So whenever there is a disease in a person with the special needs, the family sacrifices so much of their life to have the well-being of that special needs, and they don't want to have an additional burden. That's one part of the story. Second part of the story is the medical profession in general and dentistry in particular, we do not have any orientation towards treating children with special needs. We always are trained to handle a toothache, and we can handle a root canal, we can handle an extraction, we can make braces and make the teeth beautiful. But these kids and the adults with medical conditions, First of all, we don't have a first-hand information or in-depth information about them, and we always have the inhibition or little bit of lack of confidence in handling those children. So our intention of focusing on the special needs is that to have them more inclusive rather than exclusive. Children and the parents of those children, they keep on searching for the people who have little bit of information about their special needs. Yes. So if you are prepared, they'll be very happy to approach you. And this is one of the emerging fields in dentistry and very looked less upon. So our interest is mainly to focus on sensitizing dentists to treat special needs. And with that intention, we also started something called Federation of Special Care Dentistry. Yes. This is to sensitize and train dentists to handle people with the special needs.
Okay, so that is a really great initiative by you and really great service, I would say.
And pediatric dentists as such include special needs as into their curriculum. A pediatric dentist is better prepared to handle a person with a child and adult with special needs than any other pediatric subspecialist or dental subspecialist.
Yes, sir. I agree
because
to that.
It's part of the curriculum.
Yes, sir. So you were telling us a little bit about your blood donation campaign. So you were mentioning about it sometime
This
back.
is nothing to do with the dentistry. This is my interest and passion towards special needs. Yeah, I do blood donations, and I'm not telling this for showing off, but I wanted to sensitize people and encourage people to donate blood. Yeah, I do. I'm due for my 67th blood donation. I do this for my thalassaemic children. I do it every 3 months, and I have a lot of blood relatives now.
Okay, that's amazing. So the world definitely needs more people like you who are giving your service with all passion and genuine efforts towards children as such, and especially the special children category. So coming to another question, which is sort of related to it. So what is your approach if a kid who is very scared and they come to you for the treatment? So how is your approach in handling a kid who is difficult to treat or very non-cooperative?
If you see at about 10 children, about 6 of them would be petrified coming to a dentist. Petrified.
Yes, sir.
With all the information and threats given by the parents that if you eat too many chocolates, dentist is going to pull out the tooth.
It
the
happens.
Child is going to walk into your place with that threat. So he's already seeing a villain there. And imagine walking into villain's den and with all the information what parents give. And it's all the more difficult to handle a child, for that matter, even adult, to handle them when they are affected by the pain is different, fear of pain is different. We have many tools to handle pain, but fear of pain is something, it's all in the head. It's all because of the information what they get. Behavioral management is something which is specifically taught to pediatric dentists.
Yes, sir.
Underline this, behavioral training and handling the child behaviorally is especially taught to the pediatric dentist, where I can handle a child, modify the behavior appropriate to that age so that I can make the child comfortable and get down to that level of understanding. My behavior with a young child who is about 2 years is going to be different, and my behavior and vocabulary and conversation with a 13 years old child is going to be different, and my conversation with an adolescent is going to be different. So I am trained. Pediatric dentist provides you the training to handle appropriate to that age. We start our training with as basic as Sigmund Freud's principles.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I remember all those in my 4th year BDS syllabus.
So in spite of all those things, it will be a little difficult many times to handle a child with fear. In such a situations, we do use different forms of medicines. For that matter, we use sedatives, we use general anesthesia, and we use nitrous oxide, laughing gas, to make the child comfortable so that they will start listening to you. So the purpose of using sedatives in dentistry, in specific to pediatric dentistry, is to make the child comfortable so that we can deliver the treatment in much more comfortable situation to a child. So yes, pediatric dentistry has a special relevance to sedation in dentistry. Sedation has a special place in pediatric dentistry. A pediatric dentist is specially trained to use sedatives or laughing gas to make the child comfortable.
Yes, sir. Sir, that makes me curious about one thing, that I'm sure there must be many parents or caretakers who would be kind of apprehensive with this, that they don't want to get ahead with sedating their child for the sake of dental treatment. So, what is your approach in such a case?
Interestingly, the devil is in the detail. I am not going to tell when I'm going to explain simple dental extraction to a child. I am not going to tell I'm going to lavish the injection, I'm going to poke into your hand, and I'm going to yank out the tooth. But we are going to use a language so comfortable to the child. I'm going to give a little medicine. It's going to make the tooth sleep, and I'm going to take the tooth off and throw it off. And this is not going to use any threatening words in them. Right. Similarly, I'm not going to talk about nitrous oxide or something. I'm going to use laughing gas. This is a very, very, very friendly word. Yes. So I don't want to underline about complicated things about the whole thing. I'm going to use, my language is different, my body language is going to be different. This is going to make child comfortable, parent comfortable. When the parent is made comfortable, automatically he sends the signals to the child without even any conversation that, okay, this guy is okay. This guy is okay.
That trust comes up eventually.
Trust starts from the parent, and it's very important to be convincing the parent. Once the parent is convinced, there is going to be a triangular match between the parent, child, and the dentist. So things will be much more comfortable. Yes. As you make the parents comfortable.
Yes, I would sum it up by saying that pediatric dentistry is not just about children, it's about parent management also.
Because the parent is the trusted person by the child. Yes, my father and my mother is the first person, are the first people for me to look for. So unless I get the confidence from my parents, I cannot directly get the confidence as a child from the dentist. So it's a triangular series here. Right. All parent, child, and the dentist play the equal role in the whole outcome of that.
So, sir, coming to the latest advancements that are there in this field, so I'm sure you must be familiar with so many of them. So, what would you like to tell our viewers about the recent advances in this branch?
Like any branch of dentistry, even pediatric dentistry has many emerging trends. Yes. These emerging trends could be how to prevent cavities, and how to treat a cavity without even actually drill a cavity and fill it. Yes, sir. There are so many methods and ways of making the dental treatment less fearful, more effective, and everlasting results. To give one example, for last 10 years, there is something called silver diamond fluoride. Yes. This is a chemical which we use to apply on the tooth, which actually freezes the cavity, and it will not let the cavity to progress further. And it was not available 10 years ago. Yes. Now, with the introduction of silver diamond fluoride, it's called SDF. Yes. It has changed the dynamics of the dental treatment in children. And if you effectively use such chemicals on such therapies, you can avoid even general anesthesia in many children. And this is more relevant to countries which are emerging, where you have so much of burden of the disease, and how much ever manpower you have, it cannot cater to address that much of burden of the disease. So we need to have much more predictable, much more effective, and much more successful solutions. For that example, silver diamond fluoride is one of such examples. Yes. So there are many such examples in emerging pediatric dental practices.
I'm sure, sir, the pediatric dentistry field is coming up with a lot of emerging trends, and there's a lot of scope to it. So now let's talk about the scope of someone who is freshly graduated as a pediatric dentist. So how will the practice look like for such a person if he or she wants to establish themselves in either an urban setup or a semi-urban setup? So what is your take on that?
Traditionally, probably if you look at the whole pediatric dental, sciences till 2 decades ago, it was chosen as a subject where you get to know most of the procedures, you get the master's degree and you are better prepared for general dentistry than focusing yourself on children.
Okay.
Because the awareness was not that much those days, where somebody starts their practice in pediatric dentistry and makes some living out of it. Now that the situation is different,
Yes.
because people are aware. There are more and more people who are aware of their dental health in children in urban areas than in rural areas. That happened 10 years ago.
Yes.
Now, a city, you have people who are traveling, people who are exposed to media, people are more receptive of information. All these things will make them care more about their children. So, pediatric dentistry, unlike 2-3 decades ago, which was looked as a general dentistry specialization, it's more of specialization per se. Okay. So there is going to be huge potential for pediatric dentists, because on an average, every family has 2 children.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and as I said before, I put whatever effort I can put on to give the best life of my children.
Absolutely. Sir.
They are on the lookout for pediatric dentists. The only thing, they are not able to find many pediatric dentists.
Okay.
So unless you get there, they may not be in the right position. So be prepared for that trend.
Okay.
Be prepared for that kind of an emerging situation. So be at the forefront.
Yes, sir.
Be at the forefront. There is a great opportunity for pediatric dentistry. If pediatric dentistry is successful, I think the general dentistry may not get enough patients, because we also handle the prevention part of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A child who is seen by a dentist at the childhood by a pediatric dentist, he will teach the child not to have a disease later. So actually, I'm taking away business from adult dentistry. Okay. So a pediatric dentist who is seen by a pediatric dentist at the childhood will have a less disease burden as he grows.
Yes, sir. Well, that really explains it pretty well. And obviously, I agree to the fact that awareness will definitely lead to a greater scope in the future. And I'm sure our viewers are taking notes about this emerging trend that is going to come. So if you're going to join the branch of pediatric dentistry, yes, be on the forefront, like sir. So, sir, it was really amazing sharing so many insights with you. And I personally felt that you gave such a personalized perspective about the branch as such, because obviously you are so experienced, and it was great to hear about all that. So I would like to put all this serious stuff aside for a while, because I have some fun questions lined up for you. So are you ready for it, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll try my best.
Okay, sir. I'm really curious about any funny or memorable experience that you had with a kid in your practice.
Yeah, we get bitten 2-3 times a day.
I also remember getting bitten once by a
But
kid.
that's fun to get bitten by children. And trust me, a child willingly keeps the mouth open for the shot which I try to give.
Okay.
So we don't use force, and that's the kind of trust we gain from the child. It's very rewarding to be trusted by a child.
Yes, sir. So, sir, coming to my next fun question. So, what is your stress buster after dealing a full day of children? How do you de-stress yourself after that?
The best stress buster for me is the child's smile.
Okay.
If the child smiles at me, the day's burden is disappeared.
Okay, sir.
And I play with kids. I'm a very fun-loving guy. I play with kids. Kids are my best part of de-stressing me.
Great, sir. Great. So, sir, I think you de-stress as you work along. So that is pretty amazing, I would say.
And pediatric dentistry, if you love children, and your pediatric dentist goes a different level.
Absolutely.
If you don't love children, the pediatric dentist is not going to be very enjoyable, specialty.
Okay.
And if you love children, it will take you to a different level.
Well, I can see that in a conversation. You definitely love children.
Yeah.
So that brings me to another question, which is for someone who is not that good with children, I would say. They are kind of scared to deal with the children. So if they join pediatric dentistry, do you think that eventually they'll end up loving children, or, coming a bit more in that aspect?
I don't know. But definitely the journey through the pediatric dental sciences in post-graduation definitely will make you develop that liking with the children. Because the way we understand a child when you're doing pediatric dentistry is going to be a totally different ballgame.
Yes, sir.
So what you know about child before you do your post-graduation is going to be different. But what you learn through and learn from the science is going to be a big change. Said that, if you have liking to the children, if you love children, and that journey is going to be a big trick.
Okay, so that will give you a head start.
Yes.
But
definitely, no doubt about it, the training in the pediatric dentistry will definitely make you develop that interest.
Okay. So that is a relief to hear, I would say. Sir, how do you deal with this perception that, milk teeth are actually going to fall off? So what is your take on that for this rumor?
Yeah, this is probably the most misunderstood concept about milk teeth. Many parents and grandparents, for that matter, even medical fraternity did not understand the importance of milk teeth. They always think that milk teeth anyway going to fall off. Why should we treat them? The point is whether the milk teeth fall off first or the disease is going to cause the pain first is what we need to understand. Yes. Milk teeth anyway going to fall off, but they're not all going to fall off at the right time, at the same time. The few teeth will fall off starting from 6 and 7 years, and they will continue to fall till 14 years. So the child has pain at 3 years. So how do you expect the child to be facing the pain? How the child will bear the pain and keep up to that for that many years? Number one. Number two, the toothache is going to affect the child's nourishment. It is going to affect the child's smile.
Yes,
it's going to affect the child's self-esteem. Are we going to compromise all those things simply thinking that these teeth will fall off? A child who loses the self-esteem will have a possibility of becoming an introvert. He'll not be comfortable talking to their friends. Yes. They may miss the school. It'll be a big stressful for the parent. So keeping all these things in mind, it's a misconception to think that, as you said, it's a misconception to think that milk teeth anyway they don't need treatment. No. They all need treatment. You should know that the milk teeth are also parts of your body. Yes. They have some purpose. They have certain age. Just because you have a thorn in your toe, you cannot cut off your toe.
Yes, sir.
So we need to treat it. Every tooth has a purpose. It has got some role to play, and it's got some purpose. It's not just the tooth. It is the child, and the child has teeth in the mouth. So when we treat the child, we're treating the teeth.
Okay.
So for the child's well-being, even milk teeth are going to be equally important as permanent teeth.
Yes, sir. So I think you have really busted a very big myth that so many people believe in, and I hope now you know the truth by a very experienced practitioner. And obviously it's not just about the milk teeth, it is so much more, as sir has told. And sir, it was really great to hear so many stories and experiences in this fun question answer round. I was totally entertained by it.
It's equally enjoyable for me. I really enjoyed this session.
So sir, that brings us to the end of this session. And I would like to thank you for coming here and giving us all your knowledge and insights. And it was an honor to hear it from someone who is having so many years of experience.
Pleasure is all mine. Oh,
so this is like wonderful. A small gesture from our side.
That's wonderful. Children like gifts.
Yes. This is another way of saying really thank you for coming here.
Always likes a gift.
Yes. So wrapping up this session, I would like to tell all our viewers that we want to hear from you. So I'm sure you're following Cuspyd's YouTube channel, right? And as you're watching this video, do drop a comment and do share it with your friends. And if you have any doubts, queries, anything that you want to be addressed, Team Cuspyd will get back to you. So thank you so much for joining us, and see you in another episode. And take care and have a good day. Thank you so much.